Get the shot. Yeah, nice.
Get it. Yeah, good. What?
I don't know.
Prep me.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. We are in Sydney. We landed this morning and we are doing our first HYROX competition tomorrow. When I say we, I mean Hayden and I. We're doing the mixed doubles tomorrow. And yeah, we're just on our way to check in now. Apparently the line is like 40 minutes long and we have dinner afterwards. So we just had to push dinner back because we're going to be standing in line for like 40 minutes. So that's going to be really fun. We just spent the day at Bondi since we flew in and landed at like 8 AM or 9 AM this morning. And it was an absolute hurler down at Bondi today. So took the most of it. Just the iconic Bondi pool. Blue. Thoughts?
Can confirm, very blue.
Yeah, good chat.
Yeah, you know, so the dip in the ocean actually just comes from the sun coming down from the sky. So it's just a reflection.
Premium shit talk. I don't believe anything.
Reflection of the blue of the sky. And the real question is, what came first? You know, was the ocean blue or the sky blue? What we do know, the one consistent is the sun is involved. That's what we do know.
Premium shower thoughts coming out here. Walked up along that typical, you know, hot girl walk along Bondi, saw the pool, prime Instagram photo spot, got a picture, because of course you got to take a picture if you see the pool. So we did that, got lunch, got sushi train, and yeah, now we're gonna go check in, check out the venue, and again, hopefully we're not standing in line for too long. The line is long. Thank you. It is officially race day. We are on our way to the venue. We don't race for another few hours. I think it's 9:50 now and we're on at 2. But we just checked out and we'll go watch some people perform and race before us so we can kind of get an idea of the course. And we've got a friend racing at 10, so try and get a little bit of him racing and cheer him on. But we're both feeling pretty good. Pretty good. So obviously I had a massive carb up last night, had our pizza and pasta, and then someone ordered yochi on the way home, and then it was just conveniently one directly in our path, so we stopped and got yochi, which was a bit naughty, but did it anyway. And proper naughty. And pretty much just jetted off. It's raining today, so very glad we are indoors competing. But I'm worried about the slipperiness of people's shoes if they wear their shoes outside and then they walk in, because there's a few corners on the course, so I bet you I'd be the one to slip over, but hopefully not. So sorry for the massive jump between what you just saw and now. So obviously that was the event, and it is now Thursday when I'm recording all these questions that I asked and everything. But we did the race and we were chilling out afterwards. I assumed my flight was at 8, so I was like, oh cool, we've got heaps and heaps of time. We just chilled out and stuff. Got some photos post-race, and then we went and got grilled as a post-race feed because, you know, celebrating, if you're from Australia, you know how elite grilled is. Had grilled, and then we were like, you know what, we're celebrating, let's just go all in, we'll go get yochi as well. And we're just sitting there eating yochi, and by this stage it's like 5:30, 5:40. You know what, I'll be productive. I'll check in on my phone so when we get to the airport we don't even have to do it, we'll be chilling. Go to open my phone, I see on the ticket boarding at 6:30. I was like, hang on, why is it boarding at 6:30 if our flight's at 8? And then I looked at the time of our flight, and our flight was actually at 7 to be boarding a plane in 45 minutes. So we literally threw our yochi in the bin, sprinted to the car, jumped in the car, ran to the baggage, got to the baggage at 6:25, so it was literally closing in 2 minutes. Andrew, whoever was behind the counter, he was so annoyed. He's like, you guys need to be here earlier. We're like, I know, my bad. Quickly did that, ran through customs, got there as they were boarding the plane. Anyway, chaos, and then that's obviously why I didn't film. But HYROX, let's talk about it. It was a lot of fun. Obviously we planned out everything beforehand, like what pace we were going to run at and what splits we were going to do, like on the ergs, and you know what efforts we were going to do. We're pretty much stuck to the plan completely, except the runs. The most annoying thing about the runs, which neither of us realised, and I don't think a lot of people do realise, is because HYROX is inside, your GPS for your watch doesn't work. And because the GPS doesn't work, it doesn't tell you what time you're running at. So you can't physically see your pace when you're running, which is very annoying because whenever I do speed sessions or interval sessions or anything like that, I completely go off my pace. And if I'm running too slow, I'll look at my watch and be like, oh, okay, I need to pick up. So on the day, you had to completely run off feel. And obviously when you're running, you always assume that you're running faster than you actually are. So we had a plan of sticking to like 4:40-ish, around there. And so when we were running, I assumed I was running at that pace, but really when we looked at our splits afterwards, we were running around 5-minute pace. So if we stuck to our plan and actually ran at 4:40 pace, we would have shaved 2 minutes off our time. But that's okay, learning curve, and it was a lot of fun nevertheless. But as for these questions that you all sent in, the first one that I feel like I should cover is what it is. You can compete solo, doubles, or a relay as well. 8 stations with a 1 kilometre run in between each station. So you have to run together, but you can break up the exercises however you like. And it's just now making its way to Australia. We had a couple last year, but it's kind of just blowing up this year. So a question I got heaps is how we split the workouts. So like I said, in doubles, you run together, but you can break out the work however you like. Because Hayden is a lot quicker runner than me, and he's a lot fitter, like he's run 160 kilometers. He's well oiled in the running department. Because I knew I would struggle with keeping pace a lot more than him, we got him to start and finish on each exercise just to give me a little bit of rest before starting our next run and then finishing our next run. So for example, ski, he jumped on, he did 300 meters, then I did 400, then he did 300. Because all the weight was really, really heavy, and well, heavy for me, light for him. So he's going to be a lot faster doing it. For the sled push, he did 2 laps, I did 1 lap, and then he did 1 lap. For the sled pull, he did 2, I did half a 1, he did half a 1, I did half a 1, he did half a 1. It's a lot harder to pull the sled when the rope is further away. So if you can, for any girls who are doing mixed, try to get the girl to do the closest half for the sled pull rather than the further away half, if that kind of makes sense. With the rower in particular, if you have a right technique, it's kind of like a rest. Use the ergs as kind of, rest to get your breath back. Try to limit your transitions just because it takes a lot longer to get in and out of the rower. So if you limit it to 1 to 2 changes, that is ideal. Now, if you saw If you saw this video on Instagram or TikTok or...
Go, Hayden, come on. Keep up now, come on.
Hayden absolutely took off on these because it's light for him but heavy for me. So he picked up the weights and literally just started sprinting and I was like, holy shit. I'm gonna try and keep up here. Had a break for a little bit and then I carried them for a bit and then he finished it off, obviously to give me a rest before the runs. Lunges, we literally did the exact same. So it was just 4 laps. I did 2, he did 2. And then finishing with the wall balls, obviously your last run, you're not running anymore. So try to pick it up a little bit and sprint through the finishing chute. Wall balls, he started, he is an absolute weapon, so he literally just did 70 unbroken. I just finished with 30. Initially we were gonna do 60 and 40, but he got to 60. He was like, I can keep going. I was like, yeah, right, do as many as you like. And I just finished off. And then, yeah, ran across the line and did it in an hour and 5 minutes. Hopefully that made sense of how we kind of split it up. The hardest bit, my background is strength and conditioning, so all of the exercises I was fine with. I've been doing for years. The hardest part for me is the running and keeping pace. The particular exercises, definitely the sled pull, just because of how heavy it was. We were pulling 100 kilos, which is heavy for me. I haven't done a lot of sled pulls either, so yeah, that was definitely the hardest. Another question, yeah, I got this heat, shoes. So because it's literally 8K intervals with like a little exercise in between. So I wore my Saucony Endorphin Pros. These are the shoes I wore for my marathon. These are the shoes I wear for all of my speed sessions. They have a carbon plate in them. So essentially you want to wear your best, fastest running shoes because you're running 8Ks at the end of the day and you want to be able to run those 8Ks as fast as possible. How fit do you have to be to do one? If you can run a half marathon, then you're going to be fine with the runs. If you can familiarize yourself with all the exercises, do a lot of erg work on your technique with the ergs. Ski and row in particular, they are the 2 most technical ergs, and it's going to make your life so much easier if you've got your good technique. Even if you have someone to coach you on how to do it, it's just going to make your life so much easier and you're not going to gas yourself as much on those stations. Would I train differently next time? Yes, so obviously going into this one, I had a lot of travel. I was in Bali for 2.5 weeks. I was home for 3 days and I flew to London for a week, and ideally it wasn't the best lead up into it. I didn't really specifically train for HYROX. Obviously I've been doing a lot of running and then I do all of the exercises anyway, so I just kind of winged it, to be honest. If I did it next time, I would specifically train for HYROX. I saw you smile. Does it mean you were not in pain? When I finished, I didn't feel too bad, which is an indicator that I had more in the tank. And I think that's just because we weren't running as fast as we would have liked or we thought. So I definitely could have pushed harder in the runs. A lot of questions on the outfit I wore as well. I just wore LSKD, which was the black set with like the one shoulder. Oh, also on the runs as well, it is absolute chaos. We're doing it for fun. There's people walking, there's people absolutely sprinting. So there's people running at all different paces. If you are looking to run fast, especially, you are dodging so many people. Are there any specific rules? So yeah, there is. They do a briefing at the start of the event. For us, they did an Instagram live the night before and kind of ran through specifics at every single station. So before your first HYROX, absolutely make sure you are on top of the rules for each station. And I think that is most of the questions. If I didn't answer anything that you're kind of still curious about, please send me a message and I will try to cover it. Been back into training this week. Obviously training for a marathon and also training for HYROXs at the same time is quite a lot. I'm going out to Sydney again next weekend to run the 14Ks, which is going to be so fun. I'm actually going down with Red Bull, so I can't wait for that. But if you have any other questions, please send them through and I'll see you in the next video.